What's up everyone? Welcome back to Theory Hammer. We're going to talk about the Fire Dragons today. This unit is busted with a capital B, so let's talk about that. If you guys like the video, hammer that like and subscribe button, hit Nurgle's bell, leave a comment, check out the other videos, check out the second channel, it's linked below. Alright, so Fire Dragons are an Eldar unit. You guys probably already knew that, but for those of you who didn't know, now you know. And this is an anti-tank unit, and my god, it can destroy so much stuff. Now to take this unit to the top, you need to run them as part of the Aspect Host Detachment, or the War Host, but we're going to be going over the Aspect Host Detachment a little bit in this episode. So let's just quickly take a look at the detachment itself. It gives us Path of the Warrior. Each time an Aspect Warrior, or the Avatar of Cain, unit from your army is selected to shoot or to fight, select one of the following abilities for it to gain until the end of the phase. Each time a model in that unit makes an attack, reroll a hit roll of 1. Each time a model in the unit makes an attack, reroll a wound roll of 1. So you get to pick either +1 or reroll hits or wounds of 1. You don't get both of them. So that's what the Aspect Host gives you. It's pretty good. It's reroll once to hit or wound. Now, we will get to some other stuff in the detachment, like some stratagems specifically. We're not really going to go over any enhancements because the enhancement that you put in this unit is just Fuegan, because he's nuts. But we're not gonna talk about any of the enhancements. So that's what your detachment gets, though, if you're taking them in this. If you decide to take them in the War Host, they don't directly benefit from the War Host ability. It's just that they benefit from having the same stratagems, basically, like Skyborn Sanctuary, which we'll get to. But they have the same stratagems plus some other ones that allow you to re-embark in transports. So the War Host is good because it allows other units in your army to also do the tricks we're going to talk about. So the War Host itself isn't necessarily better for the Fire Dragons, it's just that your army can do the same things the Fire Dragons do, so that's kind of the trade-off there. But mostly, for the purposes of this video, we're going to be discussing the Aspect Host the most. Those are the strats we're going to talk about, and that's just kind of what we're going to do. Now, what really matters here the most is going to be our stratagems. Mainly Skyborn Sanctuary and Perpenatural Precision. So we'll talk about those real quick, and then we'll take a look at the Fire Dragon's datasheet, and then we'll kind of put it all together and see what kind of units that we can melt. So first, we have Perpenatural Precision. This is how it reads. So 1 CP shooting phase, 1 Aspect Warriors unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot this phase. Each time you use this stratagem, you can remove an Aspect Shrine token from your unit, see its datasheet, then select one of the following abilities, or 2 if you removed an Aspect Shrine token during the usage of this strat. So either ignores cover, lethal hits, or sustained 1, and until the end of the phase, your ranged weapons in that unit gain those abilities. So usually we're going to go with lethal hits and sustained 1. You don't need ignores cover when you're AP 4, generally speaking. Then we have Skyborn Sanctuary. This just allows us to get back in a fucking transport, like it's wild, bro. 1 CP, end of the fight phase, you target an Asiana unit from your army, and then 1 friendly transport that they're able to embark within. You embark them, as long as they're within 6 inches of that transport. They can just get the fuck inside. And this is a linchpin strat on this unit. Like, this unit doesn't function in the way that I'm about to describe without a Wave Serpent and without this stratagem. So, those are what we got, and we do have one other one, which would be Warrior Focus. This is in your shooting or fight phase. You target an Aspect Warrior unit or the Avatar, and then until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes an attack, you can ignore any or all modifiers to the ballistic skill, weapon skill, strength, armor penetration, damage characteristic, or modifiers to the hit roll. Notably, not -1 to wound. But that's another one that we have that's also really, really good. So that is all the stratagems that we're going to be discussing. There's some other ones in there. Maybe I'll put them on screen just for you to pause and read. But when it comes to what we're about to discuss right now, these are the 3 stratagems you need to know about. Mainly it's going to be Skyborn Sanctuary and Perpenatural Precision. I don't know if I said that right, but that's what we're going to go with. Alright, let's take a look at the Fire Dragon datasheet themselves. So, they move 7. They're toughness 3, so not great. They do have a 3-up save, so they're all in power armor, and a 5-up invuln, but, 1 wound at toughness 3, I mean, come on now. Except for the Exarch, he's got 2 wounds. Their leadership's 6, so they do have a pretty high leadership, and their OC of 1. For ranged weapons, though, their fusion gun is nutty. It's got Assault built in, and it has Melta 3. 12-inch range, yep, it's just a regular Melta gun otherwise. Strength 9, AP 4, D6 damage, but that plus 3 That's really, really good. Now they do have access, at least the Exarch does, to this Dragon Fusion pistol, Assault Melta 3 pistol, Strength 9 AP4, D6 damage, but only a 6-inch range. Don't love that. The Dragon's Breath Flamer is pretty good as well. It's Assault as well. Nice, ignores cover torrent, D6 plus 2 shots at 12, Strength 6 AP2. Just 1 damage though, but AP2 plus ignores cover. It's basically AP3. Really good there. Or he can have the Exarch Dragon Fusion Gun, which is Assault Melta 6. 12-inch range, 1 shot, Strength 9, AP4, D6 damage. Or he can have the Fire Pike, which is Assault Melta 3, 18-inch range, 1 shot at Strength 12, AP4, and D6 damage. Now for combat, we got 2 attacks at Strength 3, 1 damage, no AP. Hitting on 3s, no one cares. All these are hitting on 3s, by the way, shooting in combat. Or the Exarch can have 3 attacks with a Dragon Axe, which is Strength 6, AP4, D6 damage. Jeez. So the Fire Dragon Exarch models, Exarch Dragon Fusion Gun can be replaced with one of the following, either the Flamer, the Fusion Pistol, and the Dragon Axe, or a Fire Pike. And for every 5 models, you have an Aspect Shrine token. They're infantry with grenades, so that's important. They have Battle Focus, and then they have Assured Destruction. In your shooting phase, only in your shooting phase. Each time a model in this unit makes a ranged attack that targets a monster or a vehicle unit, you can reroll the hit roll, you can reroll the wound roll, and you can reroll the damage roll. What? So they have the same ability as Eradicators, I believe. They can just go up to vehicles and melt them. The difference here is that these have a higher Melta value. They can flip things to 6s, which we're about to get to, and they have more shots. Then we have our Aspect Shrine token abilities, once per battle. For each Aspect Shrine token this unit has, you can change the result of 1 hit roll or 1 wound roll for a model in this unit to an unmodified 6. That means your Exarch Dragon Fusion Gun can just, I don't know, maybe just auto wound within Melta range and do 6 plus D6 damage? That could be a thing that you could do twice. Who's to say? So, pretty nuts there. This unit did go up in points a little bit recently. They're now 220 if you take a full 10-man, or they're 110 if you take 5. So to kind of put it all together here, we get our detachment rule. We get to reroll 1s to hit or to wound. Now, admittedly, kind of useless because they reroll everything against tanks and monsters, but against those non-tanks, those non-monsters, you know, that's nice to have for sure. Then you have your strat, which is going to give you lethal or sustained hits, or both if you decide to use an aspect token. Then you have a strat to re-embark. Then you have Fuegan that gives you a plus 6-inch range, and we're Eldar, so we get to already move way faster than we are supposed to be moving in like a normal game. So let's take a look at Fuegan. Fuegan's awesome. Move 7, toughness 3 with a 2-up and a 4-up invuln, 5 wounds, leadership 6, OC of 1. For ranged weapons, he's got his Seer Song, which is either a beam or a lance. The beam is Assault, Melta 1, Sustained 2, 12-inch range with 3 shots, Strength 8, AP 3, 2 damage. Pretty good profile for wiping out 2 wound guys, right? Not bad at all. Plus it has Sustained 2. What if you like had him in a unit of fire dragons and then made one of those hits a 6? Then he'd have like 5 hits, right? Because he'd be re-rolling all of his hits against something. Or re-rolling 1s if he's not re-rolling his hits against something. So that's pretty good. You get what I'm getting at there. Against like an infantry unit of Space Marines, he's averaging like 5 hits with that weapon. So, and they are Melta 1, so they could be 3 damage. Anyway, if you're shooting the single shot, that's just a casual Melta 6 at 18 inches at strength 14, AP 4, D6 damage. And of course, he's hitting on 2s. So his one-shot weapon can just do 12 damage to anything. Like, it's pretty good. Oh, wow. So in combat, I thought he had 5 attacks. He's got 6, baby. Hitting on 2s, strength 5, AP 4, flat 3 damage. Like, I knew it was AP 4, flat 3, and strength 5. I thought he had 5 attacks, though. He's got 6? The fuck? This guy's nuts. So, yeah, he's leadership 6, OC 1. I'm pretty sure I skipped that completely. He can be attached to fire dragons. He has grenades, because fuck you. Like, where are they? I don't see any grenades on him. He's got leader. He's got battle focus. And then he has the burning lance. When this model is leading a unit, add 6 inches to the range characteristic of Melta weapons equipped by models in that unit. So that would mean not the flamer. If you took the Dragon's Breath flamer, wouldn't boost that because it's not a Melta weapon. But all your Melta guns, now they're 18 inches. the fire pike thing that he has, what's it called? Sear Song? Yeah, that shoots 24 inches, and if he's in the unit, he rerolls hits, he rerolls wounds, and he rerolls damage rolls against vehicles and monsters. That unit also has access to shrine tokens that can just make him auto-hit, make him auto-wound, whatever. He does have another ability, which is Unquenchable Resolve. The first time this model's destroyed at the end of the phase, 2 up he gets back up, not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units with its full wounds remaining. Full wounds. Fucking Fuegan is nuts, dude. Because just like, dude, look at his profile. Insane weapon, insane melee, it comes back to life. Like, he's really good just by himself. So that's what we get, right? That's our package. So how do we use them? You basically just drive up in a Wave Serpent. It moves 14 inches, but it's actually, 15 plus D6 because you're going to use a token on it. Then you get out 3 inches. Then you have an 18-inch range now, or 24 if you're talking about Fuegan himself. So yeah, super easy. You just take this unit, you put a Fuegan in it, you take a Wave Serpent, you play this detachment, or War Host if you really want to, and that's all you do. You drive up your Wave Serpent, like minimum 16 inches, you get out 3 inches, so you've moved 19 inches, you then have an 18-inch range, and then you shoot stuff, and you reroll your hits, your wounds, and your damage. You're hitting on 3s with everything. Your melt is +2 or +3, and now it's at a 9-inch range. It's all just very good. You know what I'm saying? You can't hide from them, unless you're like in your deployment zone behind a wall. And even then, they still might be able to get range to you, and like line of sight to you. Okay, and so you may be thinking, whatever, I'll just overwatch them. They're 1 wound guys, they've got toughness of 3, I've got some flamers over here, like I can wipe half the unit with an overwatch, and you would be right. Except, nah dude, I'm Eldar, remember? Weakened token, can't overwatch me, dog. So all of this is just pretty insane, and it would be fair if a unit like this could get out and then evaporate 2 to 3 units and then die, but unfortunately, again, we're talking Eldar here. And so, instead of that happening, it vapes 2 to 3 units and then jumps back inside a transport, which, by the way, is probably behind a wall, and who knows, maybe there's banshees or maybe there's something near it that can heroically intervene if you try to charge it. That's pretty cool. You know, it'd be even cooler, though. 2 Wave Serpents, because I'm Eldar, and I can do anything I want all the time. And guys, I own Eldar, so I'm guilty here. Just so you understand, like, I play Eldar. But yeah, so we have 2 Wave Serpents now. So I move out. I got out. I melted 2 or 3 things. I got back inside. You charged me, and you got through my 13 wounds at -1 to be wounded with a 5-up invuln. Okay, so I'm actually now going to move the dragons that got out 9 inches. I will then move this other Wave Serpent over here, at least 16 inches. I'll shoot my dragons at 2 units and destroy them. And then I'll hop inside this other Wave Serpent that I have. So you have to fucking can opener against this shit like 2 to 3 fucking times before they're actually able to interact with this unit. There are worlds where you can charge Wave Serpent, destroy it, and consolidate into the dragons. That's absolutely a thing. But like, Fuegan kind of slaps. Are you prepared to take a bunch of hits at AP4 and flat 3 damage? And there may still be Aspect Shrine tokens in the unit when you charge them at that point. So you might be actually taking more wounds than you thought if it's like a really tough thing that's attacking you too. Not saying you're safe in this situation, you're not, but at least Fuegan can hit hard if you do find yourself in that situation. And you also do not have a fallback and shoot stratagem in this detachment. So once you're locked in, you're stuck. But yeah, you play this right, and you can have this unit live most or all of the game and get a ton of mileage out of them. But like, what can it destroy? That's what I want to know. I want to do some Theory Hammer, and you all clicked on this video, and so you want to do some Theory Hammer too. What units can the Fire Dragons destroy? Now, surprisingly, to me, I guess, is not absolutely everything, but damn near close to it. And the not absolutely everything are going to be large units of guys. They're only single shot for each Fire Dragon. The maximum number of things that I could possibly destroy is 22, because I have 11 shots. If they all became sustained, then maybe I could wound, and then you could take 22 invulns or something. Realistically, it's going to be 10 shots with lethals and sustained, so it's not going to be that many wounds. It's going to be enough to wipe half a Terminator unit, maybe less, depending. Things like that are going to be a little bit harder to kill, but like single targets, fucking forget about it, dude. It could be like a Titan, it's dead. So we're going to give them preternatural precision for lethals and sustained. And then we give them Warrior's Focus so they can ignore everything except for -1 to wound. And we're going to use Skyborn Sanctuary to pop them back inside of a transport. You probably do not need the Ignores Modifiers thing though. But hey, this is just some theory hammer, so fuck it. Before we accept any challengers, first, let's get an idea of how many hits and wounds and such that we should expect. We've got 9 shots from the guys. If we're shooting at a tank, that's going to be about 8 hits, not including lethals or sustained. With the lethals and the sustained, we're looking at 8 hits and 2 lethals. So let's just assume, right? Everything that we're shooting at is toughness 10 or higher. So that's going to put us on 5s to wound. So that's about a 55% chance to wound when we're on like a 5-up to reroll. So that's 4.5 wounds, a bounce 4.4, plus our 4 lethals, so it gives us a total of 6.4 wounds to some unit toughness 10 or higher. We then have a single shot from the Exarch. He's going to hit with 0.88 of those, and does 0.22 lethal, so it's about 0.7 wounds from him on average. And then we have Fuegan, and we're going to use an aspect token here. We'll roll, but it's not a 6, so we're going to use our token, we're going to make it a 6, and yep, that's actually another lethal hit and another sustained hit, which means that we got 1.88 wounds on something with his shit too. So, I need you to take 6.5 saves at AP4, D6 plus 3 damage, then take 0.7 saves at AP4, D6 plus 6 damage, then take another 1.88 saves at AP4, D6 plus 6 damage. Our first challenger into the rink here is going to be a Predator. The Predator is in cover. The Predator takes a meager 33 damage from the unit alone. The Predator then takes another 5.5 from the Exarch, and then the Predator takes 15 from Fuegan. Bro, that's 53 damage. 5-3. Oh, and I was averaging the damage at 3.5. Like, I'm not even bothering re-rolling. They're allowed to do that, so realistically, it's probably closer to like 60 damage. But alright, how about a Land Raider? Yeah, no. And fuck it, dude. Give the Land Raider cover. Give it Armor of Contempt. I won't even use Warrior Focus, right? Yeah, so the Land Raider takes 20 damage from the unit alone, takes another 12 damage from the Exarch and Fuegan, and that is under the absolute best of circumstances. Cover, Armor of Contempt, I'm not rerolling my damage, I'm just using the average of 3.5. These fuckers still do 32 damage to a Land Raider. Like, mathematically and on average, they'll destroy 2 Land Raiders if they both have cover and both have Armor of Contempt. How about an Imperial Knight? Yeah, no. This shit takes 27 damage before you roll your Feel No Pains, which are 6-ups. Takes 27 damage from the unit alone, and then it takes another 16 damage from the Exarch and from Fuegan. I didn't even bother re-rolling the damage again. Just, I'm gonna hand you 43 6-up Feel No Pains. Did you make 22 of those? No? I didn't think you did either, so roll to see if you explode. Let's get into some really hard targets though, like Magnus, or like the Silent King and Star Shatter, Mortarion maybe, a Catan, you know, things like that. Hey Magnus, and you know what, man? I don't even care, bro. B -1 damage, blank some shit. Take 2 4+ rerollable invulns, do all that, bro. And then take 17 to 18 damage from the unit alone. His blank and his rerolls are gonna be used on the Exarch and on Fuegan's wounds. Considering they total about 2.5, he's gonna need that there. And if we really needed to, which we didn't, because I didn't even reroll my damage, we would have just tossed a grenade at him. Bye-bye, Magnus. Like 100% of the time, dead Magnus. But yo, what's up, Morty? Yo, Morty, come down to the garage, my pickle! By the way, Morty, take 33 more Feel No Pains. Did you make 17 of those? No? Yeah, you're dead. And I didn't even reroll my damage. Okay, so how about a Catan? Yeah, so the Melta, that happens after you half damage, so you're deader than a fucking butcher's nail. If I do not reroll my damage, take 15 Feel No Pains from the unit alone. Then take another 10 from Fuegan and the Exarch. So yeah, take 25 Feel No Pains if I don't grenade you or reroll my damage, and you gotta make 14 of them. You didn't, so the end. Alright, so last super unit, Silent King in the Star Shatter. We're gonna assume he's -1 damage. He could probably do the repairing thing, but it only happens after the unit finishes shooting, so maybe not. All that good, you feel? I'm gonna let you be -1 damage, because remember, I can use Warrior's Focus, so I am letting you. The unit destroys both Menhirs and does 6 wounds to the Silent King. Fuegan and his Exarch buddy do another 11 wounds to you, and that's 16 wounds to the Silent King and both Mynheers dead, and that's on average, without re-rolling my damage, and without using Warrior Focus. Today is the day where a unit can actually kill the Silent King in the Star Shatter detachment. Never thought I'd see it, folks, but here we are. Hallelujah, and holy shit. Now, it does get close, because the Silent King could have theoretically, used a CP to reroll a failed save, but then again, I didn't reroll any of my damage rolls, so we'll just call that a wash. And then when all is said and done, this unit of Fire Dragons couldn't be overwatched, hopped back into a vehicle that has absolutely no right being as durable as it is for its point cost. Dude, a Wave Serpent is 125 points. That is still way too cheap. -1 to be wounded, 13 wounds, 5 up invuln all the time, by the way. Insane movement, decent shooting for a transport, just like, what the fuck, dude? There are some things that they won't deal with, though. Like I said, 10 Terminators, don't count on that. They just don't have the volume for a unit of that size, so no. They're not going to delete absolutely any unit in the game, but damn near close to it. And the fact that you can't easily react to what you just witnessed is fucking bullshit. The best of bullshit, because again, I play Eldar. I'm allowed to talk shit when it's, one of my armies. Not that I actually am talking shit. This is just very exciting for me. Like, what the fuck is happening? This unit does like 40 damage to a Land Raider. Dude, like... And that's just the way it goes, my friends. As the edition matures, more and more nonsense happen. More and more overpowered bullshit comes out. Like, hey, check this out. New Fire Dragons, guys. Oh, by the way, they're fucking insane. Make sure you buy them now so that we can fuck you later. I swear to God, dude. 40k players are masochists sometimes, including myself. So how do you deal with them, though? Well, in short, you kind of don't. Like, full stop. The only way to really deal with them is to charge into their transport, crack it open, and then try to get into combat with them. If you can't do that, because that's not always going to be easy, it should never be easy if you're playing correctly, they're just going to continue to fuck you all game. Like, a unit is never in isolation, right? Like, there's going to be other things near it also hiding, and if you charge into this fucking transport, expect that unit to die immediately. And if you don't lock the Fire Dragons up, if you do get them out, they're just going to get into a different Wave Serpent in the next turn. And it's also kind of hard to move block a transport that has fly. So it just moves right over you, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it, my friends. This unit is very hard to deal with. It's not impossible, but it's fucking close. You kind of have to wait for your opponent to make a mistake and give you a chance to either shoot the transport down or crack it open, try to tie up the guys inside. You just got to make sure that you have enough to do it, because again, Fuegan slaps. And just shooting the Wave Serpent dead isn't always great either when there's other Wave Serpents flying around. If they have the chance to do it again the next turn in a new Wave Serpent, like, what are you going to do? Serpents require, like, actual dedication to destroy with their profile. You're not going to accidentally destroy one with, like, a Marine squad with a Thunderhammer. You have to commit a good unit to crack it open. And if all you do is crack open a 125 transport, and it took your 300-point unit to do it, and then it gets evaporated, it's a bad trade, So Fire Dragons, insane unit. They can kill, like, single units. They can kill pretty much any single unit in the game. They would probably do, like, 50 wounds to a Warlord Titan. I don't feel like doing the math, but yeah. They can do an insane amount of damage to things, and it's just hilarious. They can kill the Silent King. We have one unit finally. Maybe there's two. I'm pretty sure Sword Brethren, like a full unit, probably kills the Silent King. But, yeah, now we have a shooting unit that just deletes the Silent King in one round of shooting with one stratagem on them. That's it. You give them one strat. That's it. Because we didn't ignore, or we didn't do the -1 damage or anything. We didn't even reroll our damage rolls, dude. Dead Silent King. Wow. So, I hope you guys like this deeper dive into the Fire Dragons. They were such a cool unit, and I'm really glad they got some new models. My wallet hurts, So, I hope you guys like the deeper dive into them. Sorry that I haven't done a codex review. My source that I get them from hasn't gotten me one, so I might just have to snag one online, but it's like, do I even bother at this point? Like, everyone and their mother has probably reviewed it at this point. And for whatever reason, you guys dislike bomb my codex review videos. I'm not really sure why. Like, even the recent ones where I'm even less sarcastic, you guys make me wonder. I'll say that much. But that's going to do it here, my friends. this was my deeper dive into this, and since I'm just one person running both my channels, there's a very high likelihood that I forgot stuff, messed things up, all that shit. So if I did, which I'm sure I did, then let me know down below what nonsense did I miss that you have been doing with your fire dragons. Let me know in the comments down below, and make sure to fire pike that like and subscribe button, Thunderhammer Nurgle's bell, check out the other videos, we've got a ton of them like this, among other things, and then check out the Power Fisters, just a little Let's Play channel for now. Gotta figure out how to add videos on the screen for you guys to click when the video is coming to the end, like now. Like, how the fuck do you do that? I don't even know. To ChatGPT! Theory hard, my friends, and I'll see you guys in the next video.